Welcome everyone, I hope you're having a very wonderful day, and welcome to my guide for mountain goats for Silver Ridge Peaks. Before we begin, let me quickly tell you guys how today's guide is going to work. So our first section, we'll be covering mountain goat zones, and we'll be visiting one hotspot in today's video. And then we're going to move on to the weapons locker, where I'll recommend 5 of my favorite weapons for hunting these guys. And then we're going to end today's video with the animal profile, which will have a custom map, time zones, ammo chart, and all that good stuff to make your hunting life 10 times easier. So let's get right into it by opening our map really quick, just so I can explain to you guys where mountain goats reside. So we're down here in the bottom left corner of the map. This entire little zone here that's highlighted in yellow is technically actually mountain goat zone area. You're going to find them on this little area behind this little mountain ridge here. So you're going to have to walk all the way around there, or you're going to be able to try to find a way around this little mountain here, and you're going to find some mountain goats over there. Now, there's a lot of mountain goats that like to reside in this little valley that we're standing in, which I will be showing you guys today as a hotspot. But we're going to cut over here to the right-hand side, and we're going to look at this little middle section here. This entire middle section with all these mountains here, if you guys can see my mouse. Just follow that mouse along, and you're going to be able to find all these mountain goats within this area. Now, the best way to find these guys is kind of stick close to the mountain's edges here, because they're going to be on these little hillsides, especially over here at this little basin area with this lake. You're going to find a lot of them in this little divot, which is a really good zone to check them out, which you guys will see at the end of today's animal profile. It's going to be marked in red here. And there's also going to be a zone up here that's going to be marked in red where you can find quite a few mountain goats. But my preferably favorite area to find these guys is actually right off the bat on one of these spawns. It's right here in the Lone Island Lake. Once you spawn at this outpost and start walking your way down, you're going to be able to find quite a few mountain goat zones, and you're going to be able to continue following this road down here to the other outposts, and you're going to find mountain goats along that entire trail there. And also, if you come from Sun Sisters here from this outpost and walk all the way down this road, you're going to find more mountain goats there as well. And then over here at the Bear Wallow Basin at this outpost, you can follow the same stretch of road here, and you're going to find some along the roadside, but you're going to mostly find them off to the right here, as I said, near this little lake section. You can also find a few up here, right above that little lake section as well. But that pretty much does it for all their locations. Oh wait, actually there is more stuff here. Cougar Watch, this little area here. You can find some from this little outpost right here, this climber outpost, and cut up here and go to the right. You can actually find them in this valley. I do have a few zones of some females and some single males throughout there. But that pretty much will do it for the mountain goat zones. You guys will be able to see a lot more at the end of today's video. But let's check out this hotspot. Now, the hotspot I'm going to take you guys to is right here in this little valley. So I'm going to start walking there, and I will see you guys there in a moment just to showcase this nice little zone. Alrighty, folks. So I wanted to start recording before we actually made to the hotspot, because I want to show you guys what you're going to be looking for. And here's a beautiful level 4 actually right in front of us, which I just want to take out really quick. He was a solo, but you're going to basically be up here on these, like, the side of these mountains and stuff, just checking them out, seeing what you can find. And we're going to check this bad boy out really quick. And he was a gold. The gold threshold is 84, and he was 100.72. Very good looking level 4. I typically don't shoot these guys or shoot any animals when I'm doing my guide videos, but couldn't resist that beautiful looking level 4. Hopefully we can get a diamond out of him dying, but one can only hope. So we're going to make our way to our little hotspot. Now the route I take to get into this valley is I come from the outpost, cut straight across to the lookout point, and then I kind of cut up onto this ridge because it looks down into the little valley that these guys reside in. So we're just going to keep on moving over here. And you're going to probably find, hopefully, quite a few of these mountain goats on this hillside, but I would like to point out once again that they can reside down in that valley. And I just also want to point out that they can actually sit down near this outpost here. So I would recommend maybe starting from the outpost over here and working your way towards the other outpost. I would not recommend teleporting to it while it's in zone time, because you're probably going to scare away your mountain goats. And I think we have another zone here. Yes, I already found that one. So we're going to keep moving. We should be there any minute. I do apologize if this is a longer than normal guide video for my animal walkthroughs. I typically try to make them short and compact with all the need-to-know information. But we're out here trying to get as much information as I can give you guys for these mountain goats, because they're very particular, or peculiar animals, I would rather correctly say, compared to a lot of these other animals on the maps. Since they don't have water in zone times, I want to try to make this as accurate as I can, just to make your guys' hunting life 10 times easier when you're out there trying to find these guys. And we did get a pretty interesting male mating call over there, but we're after this up here. Hopefully there's a bunch of them up here I can show you guys, just so you know that this is a pretty good hotspot. I don't know where I would put a tent over here if I was going to start farming them, because that's pretty much the only flat terrain we got here is right on this position, which I'm pretty sure if I teleport in, I probably could scare them. But we're almost there, folks. We're almost there. We just have to make it through the trees. Ooh. Maybe there's another group that decided to join the ranks of all of our boys down there. But we're going to just creep up. I don't really know what else I could tell you guys about these mountain goats, other than, you know, you're just going to be out there for a while exploring, picking off all your zones. The best thing to keep in mind is when you're out there and you're trying to look, if you're trying to farm for a diamond mountain goat, is to keep an eye on those group of threes, make mental notes, and prepare to start tenting up for those. You're going to bump into probably quite a few single males out there. I'd recommend just picking them off and keep on trucking. But we should push through these trees, and we should be able to see all the hot zones for these guys. The hotspot zones. I've actually been enjoying hunting these mountain goats. They actually provide a little bit of a challenge. And they're very beautiful animals, and they stand out pretty easily among the trees. So this is the hot spot that I'm talking about. I should have maybe 2 to 3 zones of mountain goats here. Oh man, he's close. He's close. Hopefully that all the groups are here. I don't see all of the groups, but I do see that level 3 down there. And he is alarmed, and he is fleeing. So that should be a group of 3. But there should be another group right off over there, another group of 3. I do have more mountain goats actually further down, but I think we're going to call it quits here just to show you guys where to look on this little section here. As you guys can see, it's a nice clear little valley. You can see all the mountain goats. And then these guys, if you sit back further enough and you shoot down at these guys, then these guys wouldn't be scared. But that'll pretty much do it for all the mountain goat locations and the hotspots. I do have that map at the end of today's video that'll show you other pretty good locations that I found while combing through all these zones. So I will see you guys back at the locker in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, so we're here back at the locker. Before we begin, I want to mention quickly 3 things. First things first is I'm only going to be covering rifles, handguns, and shotguns. I'll not be covering bows because I'm not a bow expert. I'll leave that to professionals. Secondly, these are just my personal recommendations and favorites. I always say go out there and explore and see what suits you and what you enjoy playing with. And then lastly, I'll be mentioning all the DLC these weapons come from in case you want to pick them up for yourself. So let's get right into it. I'm going to try to be quick about this since we take a lot of time doing the animal hotspots and zone showcasing. So our first rifle of the day is the M1 Grand. You guys saw me use that, take out that level 4 mountain goat. This thing is a beauty. You saw it just insta drop that little guy there that we shot. And it's got 5 rounds. It's pretty good using it on those hillsides. Obviously, you can take some pretty good follow-up shots with it, which I didn't need for that, but every once in a while you'll spook one. You're going to need to take some follow-up shots, and this gun is just perfect for the job. And you can find that in the Smoke and Barrels weapon pack. Moving on to our second rifle today, the Malmer 7mm Magnum is a pretty decent high-powered rifle. Now, when it comes to those hillsides, it kind of has some difficulties, but if you have those long-range shots, this thing will do it perfectly. I highly recommend using this thing, and you can find it in the Hunter Power Pack DLC. Our third and final rifle of the day is the Model 1894. It shoots that 44 round. You have 6 rounds in there. Now, I find this thing to be pretty enjoyable. I used it a little bit yesterday when I was checking out the zones, and it drops these guys pretty good. And it's got 6 rounds in there, so you can place pretty decent follow-up shots. It's got less recoil than the 30-06 and the 7mm, so I enjoyed using it quite a bit. You can find it in the Ambusher Pack DLC. Moving on to handguns. We have one handgun in today's video, the 4570 Jernberg Spear. Very phenomenal little hand cannon there. It's got 1 round in it, so I mean that's pretty much all you're going to need for taking out these mountain goats because their group's max size for males is 3 from what I've seen. So you're only going to be pretty much taking out 1 male at a time. And the benefit with this guy is you can put a rifle scope on it, which makes it a very phenomenal pistol and in my opinion superior to all the other pistols in the game. And you can find this bad boy in the High Caliber Weapon Pack DLC. Moving on to our final weapon of the day, which is probably my favorite for taking these guys out so far. Oh, we already passed it. The drill-in rifle is a very beautiful shotgun that you can use to take out these mountain goats. Not only you have 2 shotgun barrels that can shoot 16 gauge slugs, which do a pretty good job on these guys. It has a rifle round, the 9.3x74R big game round. Now, the cool thing about this shotgun, since you are on the slopes most of the time, you can use this thing without the scope, take these guys out with the shotguns, and if you see a mountain goat at range, you can use that rifle round to take them out, which this thing is a pretty decent weapon. I want to say that this is probably my personal favorite for taking these guys out when it comes to hunting on the hillsides, so I recommend picking this bad boy up, and you can find it in the Weapon Pack 2 DLC. Oh, one more quick thing I want to mention about this shotgun is that it does have its own scope, which can be a downside in my opinion because I'd rather mount a better scope on it, but it is what it is. It's got that pretty decent round on it, so that makes up for it in my opinion. So I will see you guys over at the animal profile in just a moment. And here we are, folks, at the end of today's video at our animal profile. Before I let you guys go, let me do a quick animal profile breakdown. Starting on the left-hand side, we have all of our basic mountain goat information covering the class, difficulty, silver, gold, and diamond threshold range. We have our weight from kilograms to pounds from least to greatest. We have our fur types covering common and very rare. Moving on to the center map, I tried to make this as accurate as I possibly could be for their mountain goat range. So if anything is out of bounds of this area, please let me know so I could try to fix it later on. And then I have all their hotspots marked in red for you guys to look out for when you're out there looking around for them. And then to the top right hand corner, we have all of their time zones, and then below that we have our ammo chart for those in full integrity kills. So I hope this guide helps you out, folks, and that will pretty much be the end of today's video. I hope you guys have a very wonderful day, happy hunting, and good luck, and I will see you guys in the next one.